Afternoon guys, it's Tuesday the 13th of November. Been a couple of weeks since I posted anything. As you might be able to see, horses are on winter turn out into the big main hayfield that we've got. Been busy the last week or two muck spreading, didn't get a chance to film anything. Plus I didn't think you'd be that interested in it, watching me trundle up and down. Got it all spread on about 12 acres of land and chain harrowed. This was the heap we're in the other day. Now we had the Massey 698 emptying out. I think that was the last video I posted. So there was a fair bit that went out. I don't know, 100 tonnes worth or something like that. So this will get emptied out again in summertime, which will go into either that backfield there or the fields down by the river that I did the second cut field on. Just depends how it rots down and how I can transport it down. But yeah, that's the problem with that anyway. So that's all done. That's this year's muck spreading done for 2018. So I'm just on to a couple of winter repairs at the moment. And today's job is this Haybob. It's a Haybob 300. I've had a few issues in the last couple of years with it. For people that don't know, all these tines on these are all on the floor. They should be like this one with a spring on it that holds them up. So when you put the PT on to 540, these should actually spring down to the floor and turn your grass or your hay, whichever part it's at. But unfortunately all these tines these springs are broken. It's just these ones down here. There's a little piece that should be through the steel plate, but over years of work and rest of it, it's worn them out. Also these plastic bushes are starting to get worn, and the plastic end stops as well. And yeah, I do need another tyre. Wheel puncher. So what I've been doing is I bought a kit. Wasn't particularly expensive. There you go. If you want to know where they are. I think it's about 150 or so to replace those plastic bits and springs to what it should be, is like this, where all of them are actually upright rather than tray them on the ground like those ones. So basically I've been changing nuts and washers. I've also got the tines as well. Plastic bushes in there, spring, little roll pin, and this plastic end stop, I think they call it. So yeah, I've just been on with that. It's a bit of a fiddly job to do, but it'll save me time from having new bolts on those tines. It should also stop it bending quite as many tines as well when I'm out there. Because the idea is, once they're down, is if they do catch something, they can just give a little bit. So if you hit a stone, it should bend back slightly and lift it up. But also what I was finding was, when I had it in transport mode, and again if you don't know, there's a little catch here that goes over the top. So she goes from, move my coat out the way. So at the moment she's on like that, which is like a 45 degree angle. And when you take that piece out, it actually straightens it up. So you get a broader coverage on the land that you're doing. It also means when you're transporting it down road, it's not quite as wide, it sits behind tractor a bit better. But what I was finding was these tines would be on the ground as they are, and when I'd take out the transport, because there's a bit of movement in this headstock, this part of the tine, the bottom part of the tine, would actually stick into the ground, and as the Haybob got lifted back up again to start it, it'd actually bend this piece of the tine. So you'd end up with a piece sticking down into the ground, which, when you're trying to turn, meant you were having grass and, green grass being pulled up, soil and muck and all sorts, and that get mixed into your hay, which isn't really what you want. So yeah, there's a couple of twofold reasons for changing these springs out, and I have a really complicated way of doing it, which involves a socket set, a drawbar pin to braid those roll nuts out, roll pins out, and a big hammer. So it's taken me a while to do them. I've just about got my eye into it now. But I have found if you undo the nut and bolt in there and have the tine ready to come off, you then bray that roll pin out. I tend to do it, if I show you from that one, show you on that one, is you basically bray that out as it is, straight down with a spring on, which I find is easier, and you can take that spring off. Going. If you unclip that spring, you can then drive that roll pin straight through the little hole that's at the bottom. That releases that plastic stop at the end, and then you can pull the whole lot out, and then it's kind of reversed on the way back in. On the way back in, you just got to kind of make sure that that bit of steel is actually on that side. And I found when the spring sits in there, if you drive the roll pin in from this side, not all the way, but enough to be able to turn it again and bray it in, you end up with like that ends up stopping on that far side, but this one still wants to go through that bottom hole. You can see that clearing, if that makes sense to you all. I hope it does. So yeah, I've got, there's 10 tines on each side, and I think I'm 3 left on this side, so there's 17. No, there isn't 17, there's 13 to do. So yeah, that's this afternoon's job. I will try filming it if I can, but we'll see. Alright, cheers for that, take care.